Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bo-chan.
I'm Nimacum.
I'm Van-chan.
In this class, I'll read all of you a part of Ulysses.
S.
L.
Ulysses. James Joyce. Clef. 13, Sec 3. You had to laugh at her sometimes. For instance, when she asked you, would you have some more Chinese tea and Jaspery? Ram, and when she drew the jigsaw on the men's faces on her nose. With Ridink make you split your sides, or when she wanted to go where? You know, she said she wanted to earn and pay a visit to the miss. Wait. That was just like Sissa Combs. Oh. And will you ever forget her the evening she dressed up in her father's suit and hat and the burn cork moustache and walked down Tritonville Road, smoking a cigarette? There was none to come up to her for fun, but she was sincerity itself, one of the bravest and truest hearts heaven ever made, not one of your twaffest things. Too sweet to be wholesome. And then there came out upon there the sound of voices and appealing anthem of the organ. It was the men's temperance retreat conducted by the Miss Owner, the Reverend John Hughes J. Rosary, Sermon and Benediction of the Most Blessed Sacrament. They were there gathered together without distinction of social class in a most edifying spectacle. It was to see in that simple fame beside the waves, after the storms of this weary world, kneeling before the feet of the Immaculate, reciting the litany of Our Lady of Loreto, beseeching her to intercede for them. The old familiar words: Holy Mary, Holy Virgin of Virgins. How sad to poor Georgie's ears. Had her father only avoided the clutches of the demon drink, by taking the pledge or those powders the drink habit cured in Pearson's Weekly, she might now be reeling in her courage, second to none. Over and over had she told herself that as she mused by the dying embers, in a brown study without the lamp, because she hated two lights or oftentimes gazing out of the window dreamily by the hour the rain fling on the rusty bucket, thinking. But that vile decoction which has ruined so many hearths and homes had cast its shadow over her childhood days. Then she had even witnessed in the homesickle deeds of violence caused by intemperance, and had seen her own father, a prey to the fumes of intoxication, forget himself completely, for if there was one thing of all things that Gertie knew, it was that the man who lifts his hand to a woman save in the way of kindness deserves to be branded as the lowest of the low. And still the voices sing in supplication to the Virgin most powerful, Virgin most merciful. And Gertie, wrapped in thought, scarce saw or heard her companions or the twins that their boyish gambols or the gentleman of St. Mount Green, that's the sake of recalled the man that was so like himself, passing along the strand taking a short walk. You never saw him any way screwed, but still, and for all that she would not like him for her father because he was too old or something, or on account of his face it was a palpable case of Dr. Fell or his carbuncle nose with the pimples on it, and his singy moustache a bit white under his was poor feller. With all his fault, she loved him still when he sang to me. Mate, how to with thee, oh my love, and cottage near Rochelle, and they had stewed cockles and lettuce with lays and beef salad dressing for supper, and when he sang the moon hath raised with Mr. Dignam that died suddenly and was buried. God have mercy on him. From a stroke. Her mother's birthday that was in Shirley was home on his holidays in Thomond. Mr. Dignam and Mrs. and Patsy and Freddie Dignam, and they were to have had a group taken. No one would have thought the end was so near. Now he was laid to rest. And her mother said to him to let that be a warning to him for the rest of his days, and he couldn't even go to the funeral on account of the gout, and she had to go into town to bring in the letters and samples from his office about Casby's Goclino. Artistic standard designs fit for a palace. Gives tip-tip wear and always bright and cheery in the home. A sterling good daughter was Gertie, just like a second mother in the house. A ministering angel too, with a little heart worth its weight in gold. And when her mother had those raging splitting headaches, who was it verbed the menthol cone on her forehead, but Gertie, though she didn't like her mother's taking pinches of snuff, and that was the only single thing they ever had words about. Taking snuff. Everyone thought the world of her for her gentle ways. It was Gertie who turned off the gas at the main every night, and it was Gertie who tacked up on the wall of that place where she never forgot every fortnight the chloride of lime Sturtony, the Grocer's Christmas Almanac, the picture of halcyon days where a young gentleman in the costume they used to wear then with a three-cornered hat was offering a bunch of flowers to his little loaf with old-time chivalry through her lattice window. You could see there was a story behind it. The colours were done something lovely. She was in a soft clinging white in a steady attitude, and the gentleman was in chocolate, and he looked a thorough aristocrat. She often looked at them dreamily when she went there for a certain purpose, and felt her own arms that were white and soft just like hers with the sleeves back, and thought about those times because she had found out in Walker's pronouncing dictionary that belonged to Grandpapa Goldtrap about the halcyon days what they meant. The twins were now playing in the most approved brotherly fashion to that last master. Jackie, who was really as bold as brass, there was no getting behind that, deliberately kicked the ball as hard as ever he could down towards the seedy rocks. Needless to say, poor Tommy was not slow to voice his dismay, but luckily the gentleman in black, who was sitting there by himself, came gallantly to the rescue and intercepted the ball. Our two champions claimed their plaything with lusty cries, and to avoid trouble Sissy Caffrey called to the gentleman to throw it to her, please. The gentleman aimed the ball once or twice and then threw it up the strand towards Sissy Caffrey, but it rolled down the slope and stopped right under Gertie's skirt, near the little pool by the rock. The twins clamoured again for it, and Sissy told her to kick it away and let them fight for it, so Gertie drew back her foot, but she was there. Stupid ball hadn't come rolling down to her, and she gave a kick, but she missed Kennedy, and Sissy laughed. If you fail, try again, Eddie Boardman said. Gertie smiled assent and bit her lip. A delicate pink crept into her pretty cheek, but she was determined to let them see, so she just lifted her skirt a little, but just enough, and took good aim and gave the ball a jolly good kick, and it went ever so far. and the two twins straight down towards the shingle. Pure jealousy, of course. It was nothing else to draw attention on account of the gentleman opposite looking. She felt the warm flush. A danger signal always with Gertie MacDowell, surging and flaming into her cheeks. Till then they had only exchanged glances of the most casual, but now under the brim of her new hat she ventured to look at him in the face that met her gaze there in the twilight, when and strangely drawn, seemed to her the saddest she had ever seen. Through the open window of the church the fragrant incense was wafted, and with it the fragrant names of her who was conceived without stain of original sin. Spiritual vessel, pray for us. Honourable vessel, pray for us. Vessel of singular devotion, pray for us. Mystical rose. And careworn hearts were there and toilers for their daily bread, and many who had eyed and wondered, their eyes wet with contrition, but for all that bright with hope for the Reverend. For the Father Hughes had told them what the great Saint Bernard said in his famous Prayer of Mary, the most pious Virgin's intercessory prayer, that it was not recorded in an age that those who implored her powerful protection were ever abandoned by her. The twins were now playing again right merrily, for the troubles of childhood are but as fleeting summer showers. Sissy Coffey played with baby Boardman till he crowed with glee, clapping baby hands in air. Peep, she cried behind the hood of the Peshkar, and Eddie asked where was Sissy. Kong, and then Sissy popped up her head and cried, ah. And my word, didn't the little chap enjoy it? And then she told him to say Papa. Say Papa. A.B. Say Papa, 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 Papa. And baby did his level best to say it, for he was very intelligent for 11 months, everyone said, and big for his age, and the picture of health. A perfect little bunch of love. And he would certainly turn out to be something great, they said. Hadji or ya Hadger. Sissy wiped his little mouth with the dribbling bib and wanted him to sit up properly and say Papa, Papa, but when she undid the strap she cried out, Holy Saint Denis, that he was pussing wet, and to double the half blanket the other way under. In. Shibu-boho-bo-bo. And two great big lovely big tears coursing down his cheeks. It was all no use sithering him with no, baby. No one telling him about the Jeej, and where was the puff puff butses. Always reiterated. Gave him in his mouth the teat of the sucking bottle, and the young heathen was quickly appeased. Gertie wished to goodness they would take their squalling baby home out of that and not get on her nerves. No hour to be out. And the little brats of twins. She gazed out towards the distant sea. It was like the paintings that men used to do on the pavement with the coloured chalks, and such a pity to leaving them there to be all blotted out. The evening, and the clouds coming out, and the Bailey light on Hoth, and to hear the music like that, and the perfume of those incense they burned in the church like a kind of waft. And while she gazed, her heart went but a bit. Yes. It was her he was looking at, and there was meaning in his look. His eyes burned into her as though they would search her through and through, with her very soul. Wonderful eyes they were, superbly expressive. But could you trust them? People were so queer. She could see at once by his dark eyes and his pale intellectual face that he was a foreigner. The image of the photo she had of Martin Harvey, the matinee idol, only for the moustache which she preferred because she wasn't stage struck like when he repaired that. Wanted they two to always dress the same on account of a play, but she could not see whether he had an aquiline nose or a slightly rich arse from where he was sitting. He was in deep mourning. She could see that, and the story of a haunting sorrow was written on his face. She would have given worlds to know what it was. He was looking up so intently, so still, and he saw her kick the ball, and perhaps he could see the bright steel buckles of her shoes if she swung them like that thoughtfully with the toes down. She was glad that something told her to put on the transparent stockings, thinking Reggie, while he might be out, but that was far away. To be continued.